Welcome and Happy New Year. Each week I research interesting weather and climate stories from around the world and summarize them in a video. This video covers the week ending the 5th of January 2020. The number of record highs continue to outpace the number of record lows in 2019. Just in the last week we had 850 new record highs compared with 176 new record lows. That's a ratio of nearly 5 to 1. In 2019 as a whole, we had 99,415 new record highs compared with just 55,137 new record lows, a ratio of nearly 2 to 1. This would indicate that the Earth is still warming. The University of Alabama in Huntsville has just released the data for the lower troposphere for December of 2019, and it shows that that month was the warmest December on record. This data comes from Roy Spencer, one of the leading climate skeptics in the country. And his own data now shows that the rate of warming over the last 40 years has been 0.14 degrees centigrade per decade, which is not horribly different from the surface temperature record that he has been so critical of over the last few years. The Australian bushfire disaster continues to worsen. We have over 16 million acres burned. There's now 25 confirmed dead, with many missing. People are being evacuated from some seaside towns by the Australian Navy as they are cut off by the fires. It is estimated over 2 billion animals are dead, including as much as 40% of the koala population. And this is not just in the east of the country, but that's where it's worse, but there seems to be fires now over the whole of the country. One wonders if the Australian government will now start taking climate change seriously, though somehow I doubt it. Okay, I want to know, where is the snow? From New York to Virginia, we've had less than 1 inch of snow so far this winter season. The I-95 corridor has had much warmer weather than it normally has at this time of year. To show how screwed up the weather is, if you go into my front yard, you see these plants coming up. These are California poppies, and they normally don't appear in our garden until April or May. My next question is, where is the ice? The Great Lakes are only covered by 2% of ice at the moment. This means that the areas downwind of the Great Lakes are subject to much more lake effect snow. So some areas are getting an awful lot of snow at the moment, and while other areas like here are not getting any at all. It's not until the ice covers all of the lakes, or most of the lakes, that the lake effect snow goes away. There have been major floods in Indonesia. On New Year's Eve, 192,000 people had to be evacuated. There are 43 dead caused by drowning, electrocution and mudslides. In fact, the situation is getting so bad for Jakarta that the Indonesian president has announced that the capital will be moved to Borneo. Israel also got bad floods. Tel Aviv received 10% of its annual rainfall in just 3 hours, causing flash floods. 2 were drowned when they were trapped in an elevator in a basement. Flash floods turned roads into rivers. Heavy thunderstorms are expected to continue for the next few days. Are you feeling a little bit warmer today? Well, happy Perihelion Day. The Earth is at its closest approach to the Sun on the 5th of January 2020. That means we're only 147 million kilometers away from our star. So the Earth receives about 7% more energy than it does on the 4th of July when it's at its furthest point, aphelion. Enjoy the warmth while you can. If you want to help out with the Australian fire victims, here are some links below that will guide you to some charities that are working there. We have the Australian Red Cross, we have the St. Vincent de Paul Society of Australia, and also the last one, WIRES, is to help preserve some of the wildlife that's been damaged by these fires. So until next time, hopefully we'll have better news from Australia. Goodbye.